Hello loves and welcome back to my channel. As you know, I have so much to share with you that if I could, I would do a YouTube video every day, but it's a little bit time impossible because it takes a lot of time. Therefore, I have decided to stack several topics in today's video. So today we're gonna talk a little bit more about health. We're gonna talk about gut health, blood sugar, insulin and cortisol hormones when losing weight, because many people are not familiar with how important those topics are. I was not familiar, I was not educated, but at the end we're learning our whole lives. I'm not going out today, so let me just show you my hair, otherwise this beautiful hair is gonna go to waste. If you're trying to lose weight, especially as a woman, it's not just about cutting calories and doing intensive workouts until your legs fall off. Our hormones, especially insulin and cortisol, play a huge role in how our body stores fat, how much energy we have, how we feel throughout the day, and even how hungry or bloated we get. So here are my tips about gut health, blood sugar, insulin and cortisol, everything that you need if you want to have sustainable weight loss, because let's be honest, if your search history says how to lose weight for 10 days, this is not healthy, love. You're already losing the game, because this is first not healthy and it's going to backfire 10 times more. So here we're reconnecting with our body, we're creating good relationship with food, we're healing our relationship with food the feminine way, and we want way more than just looking good. We want to be healthy, we want to sustain what we worked for, because imagine you work so hard for something and it just goes away because you are not smart enough. And trust me, I was there, I did it, I was not smart enough, it backfired, not 10, 20 times more, and now I'm here teaching you, teaching myself every day. And yeah, so let's start with gut health, because your gut is literally the foundation of your health, because 70 to 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. Your gut microbiome, those good little bacteria in your stomach and in your intestines, they influence everything: your metabolism, your mood, your cravings, and actually how well you digest food. So if your gut is inflamed, bloated or unbalanced, you're going to have such a hard time losing weight no matter what you do. So now this can only show you that being bloated all the time is not normal. Yes, if you have trigger foods, like for me is watermelon, that if I eat watermelon I'm gonna be bloated for the whole day. Yes, occasional bloating situations like this from trigger foods and etc., those things are normal, but being bloated all the time, it's not normal. To be honest, even when I'm in my period or before my period, and if I haven't eaten any trigger foods and etc., my belly, my stomach is flat most of the time, because my gut is healthy. So let's make your gut healthy too. So let me share my tips for healthy gut. First, garlic. In my home Slavic country, we cleanse ourselves and we eat so much garlic without even knowing it. We eat garlic with everything. So when we're on the table as a family, dinner, one person is gonna get up and it's going to ask, do you want garlic? It's like, do you want bread, but do you want garlic? And if you see, like, we're eating stew, 1 spoon stew, 1 bite garlic, we're eating it like this. It's like stew and bread, but for us it's stew and garlic. So we're eating so much garlic, we're putting so much garlic everywhere, and we're just snacking it like this. My little brother, he's crazy about garlic. He's eating so bread with butter and garlic. We eat so much garlic without even knowing it, but that's why most Slavic cultures, most Slavic tribes, they have a really healthy gut, not only because of fermented foods, but garlic, because better be smelly but unhealthy, right? And what I like to do for my bread, if it smells a lot because of garlic, is to eat or bite on an apple, because the apple actually absorbs the smell from the garlic. And garlic is actually a natural probiotic, which means that it feeds your good bacteria in the gut. It really has special fibers like inulin, but all you need to know is that garlic acts like a food for your good bacteria. So it's actually like you're feeding your good bacteria, because if you're not feeding your good bacteria is gonna start feeding from you. That's why I always preach to you guys to eat more fiber, because fiber is the food for the good bacteria. And when you eat foods like this, especially garlic, trust me, if you start adding garlic more often and chia, which is a very high fiber source, you're going to have a better digestion and you're not gonna get bloated. Trust me, your stomach is going to be flat. Number 2 is to eat fermented foods as often as you can. I'm talking kefir, kvass, kimchi, pickles, but homemade pickles, not those from the supermarket, because those are going to make worse then better. And one thing about me is that when you come at our home, in the bathroom, in one of the bathrooms, you're always going to see those, I don't know, it looks like tank where you make beer or wine, but it's plastic. I'm not sure what it's called in English. But my mom, every year she makes her own fermented veggies. She puts cauliflower, carrots, pickles, cabbage, everything that you can think of. It's like full, it's big, like half of my body, and it's fermented veggies. And every time that we get into dinner, she puts like a little bowl of those fermented veggies, and everybody gets a little bit and eats. This is mostly in winter time, but it usually stays all year around in my household. I personally drink kefir every week, a little bit before going to bed, because it just makes me feel so good. It helps me with bloating, with digestion. So if you cannot ferment your own veggies or buy from farmers market and things like this, I strongly advise you to start a little bit incorporating kefir into your weekly routine. So cut processed sugar and seed oils, because they create inflammation in your gut and create very, very big chaos in your microbiome. Focus on whole foods. And when I say whole foods, so many people are afraid from whole foods because they think they're boring. You have destroyed your relationship with whole foods, because whole foods have been created in your mind as something boring. I'm telling you, if you start cooking and experimenting at home, you're going to heal your whole relationship with whole foods. For example, what I like to do, I don't like eating eggs, and I know it's important sometimes to eat eggs. What am I gonna do? I'm going to add feta, I'm going to add spices, I'm going to add pickles, I'm going to add other foods that I like, you know, because whole foods should not be boring. So for example, if you want to eat, let's say, a little bit more the rainbow, and you want to eat zucchini and things like this, well, make yourself a zucchini lasagna. Or what I like to do, a very interesting recipe that I love from my book. So it's basically cottage cheese, zucchini, a little bit of flour, egg, spices, and I create tzatziki. And all of this, it's whole foods. It's whole foods, and I incorporate it in a little bit not boring way, you know. Start experimenting and cooking at home, and you're going to see that whole foods are not boring. Because what I love to say is, just cook like babushka did it, not like fast food commercials. Number 3 is don't snack all day, because every time that you start eating again, your digestive system needs to start working again. You need to give your gut time to rest between meals, and that's why I always say don't eat by the clock. Don't plan your days by, okay, at 9 o'clock I need to eat breakfast, okay, at 12 o'clock I need to eat lunch, at 3 o'clock I need to eat a midday meal, at 8 o'clock I need to eat dinner. No, eat once and give your body and your stomach time to digest. And when you feel empty again, when the body is done with the work, then eat again. You just need to listen to your stomach. And I already know that I need to make a whole separate video about how to listen to our stomach one-on-one. That's why I love to drink teas during the day, because that's how I help my digestion, and actually they show me if I'm hungry or not. Now let's talk about blood sugar and insulin, because many people don't realize that unstable blood sugar and insulin is the reason behind many cravings, mood swings, and stubborn fat, especially belly fat. Every time that you eat a high carb or high sugar meal without balance, your body has a big blood sugar spike, and then the body releases a hormone called insulin that needs to bring the blood sugar down. So if this process happens too often, every day, several times a day, your cells are going to become resistant, and that's called insulin resistance. And it's one of the biggest blocks to fat loss. So many women are struggling with things like stubborn fat, mood swings, PMS, bloating, and etc. Many more things, and they don't realize it's all connected from our blood sugar spikes. That's why healthy things like smoothies, protein bars, protein smoothies packed especially from the supermarket, I would never advise you to drink those things. They all can cause a crash, a spike, and then a midday crash, which is gonna make you more hungrier, which is gonna make it harder for you to get to your body goals, and etc. So this is what happens when we eat, for example, only pasta. It's going to be very high, and our job is to make this curve a little bit more flattened. So number 1 is always eat your food in the right order. Always eat your veggies, the fiber, before the carbs, like cooked veggies or a salad, because it really influences how quickly the sugar hits your bloodstream. That means fewer spikes, less fat storage, and steadier energy. Never eat carbs alone, always add protein or healthy fats. For example, you cannot just cook rice and eat the rice just like this, it's going to be a big spike. So for example, you can add a little bit of protein, I don't know, whatever you like avocado or chicken. I don't like so much chicken, so you can add a little bit of olive oil. You see, just a little bit of something to reduce the spike. So what to do, for example, if you eat pasta or pizza somewhere at home or in a restaurant, always eat a little bit of veggies. Like for example, at home, like what I like to do is a little bit of cucumber sticks, 1, 2, 3 before eating it. I have prepared them at home. Or I like to eat the peel of the kiwi because it has a very good fiber source. Or for example, because last month I was in Italy and there is a lot of pasta and pizza and I needed a little bit something before that, I bought myself a little pack of almonds, which are high in protein, fiber, healthy fats, and etc. A little bit of pack like this in my handbag. When I go to the restaurant, 1, 2, 3 almonds before that, and I'm not worried. I'm not worried that I'm going to have a blood sugar spike, that I'm going to store fat. So you can see, you can eat the pasta and the pizza, just you need to time them. Because really, if I obsess over something, I really don't obsess over how much protein I eat and things like this, or I don't count calories. But if I obsess over something, for my health, it's going to be blood sugar spikes because they're connected to everything. My second tip is always move after you eat, because this is so powerful. Even if I don't follow the first rule about eating a little bit of fiber, protein, or healthy fats before the carb meal, I'm always going to get up and move a little bit. Just a 5-10 minutes walk, it's so powerful. It lowers the curve so much. So for example, if you eat a high carb meal like pasta or pizza, just walk around the house, do dishes, clean whatever you want, do the bed, I don't know, walk around the block. And one easy trick, by the way, is, so you can just, I don't know how to show it to you, but you can be sitting and just do this move with your legs, with your calves, because like this you're imitating walking and you're signaling to your brain that you're like walking, and this helps with your blood sugar spike. So just, and please really don't forget this rule about the walking or moving after high carb and sweet meals, because one simple walk, one simple movement can make your curve look like you haven't eaten. It's that powerful. Number 3 is don't skip meals. I mean, if you're hungry, eat. Don't starve the whole day. First, this is not good for your insulin because you're starving the whole day. At night, you're going to eat like a high carb meal because, oh, it's very little calories. I deserve it. You're creating a big insulin spike, crash after this. And second, it's not good for your gut. Really, you're destroying your metabolism hardcore. If you want nourishment, to be healthy and to have an amazing body, you cannot starve your self-love. Really, I'm so angry with some girls that are eating so little and I just want to slap them. Really, I want to go back in time and slap myself too, because I was starving myself, and this is I'm eating when I'm hungry. I'm nourishing my body with whole foods. I'm eating if I'm craving the pasta. I'm eating if I'm craving the chocolate. I'm talking so much about those things. I'm not starving myself, and still I look amazing. I have an amazing body. I have a toned body. I have an amazing skin, as you can see, and this is all because I'm nourishing myself. You need to balance your life. You cannot starve yourself, eat at the end of the day. You need to balance your life. You cannot just have lettuce and sadness the whole day. Eat actually to be healthy and actually to lose weight. Don't starve. One other tip, last tip that I'm going to give you about this, I don't like it usually because it makes me puke, but it's 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar before meals. I don't like it really. It's a very old Slavic remedy and now it's backed by science. I really don't like it. I've done it. I'm never gonna do it again. For some people it may be okay because I am very sensitive here and I'm really feeling that I'm gonna puke, but 1 teaspoon mixed in water, in a cup of water before a high carb meal like sushi, pasta, pizza, it can reduce the spike up to 20 to 30%. So yeah, blood sugar is not only about avoiding diabetes, it's about understanding how your body is responding to food, so you can be less bloated and actually burn fat in a healthy way. Because as you know, as I said earlier in the video, I'm healing your relationship with food the healthy, feminine way, as women should do it. The goal is not perfection, it's about flattening the curve and giving your body support. You don't need to cut carbs, you just need to eat them smart. Now, one of my favorite topics, cortisol, the stress hormone. You can eat very healthy, you can train very hard, you can do everything, but if your cortisol is constantly elevated, it's gonna hold onto fat like its life depends on it, because it actually does. High cortisol tells your body to store fat, especially around the belly. This is a very stubborn fat that most of the women have problem burning because of all of those things that we talk in this video. It just makes your body think that it's in some kind of a danger, and therefore slows down the metabolism, your blood sugar goes up and your cravings increase, and your body starts holding onto every calorie like it's preparing for war. And therefore it messes so much with your sleep and overall your hormones. So if you have been eating very well, moving your body, but you're still not seeing results, this may be your missing piece. So there are some things that can show you that your cortisol levels are constantly high and they're unbalanced besides blood sugar test. And the first thing is that if you're waking up very tired and at the end of the day, before going to sleep, your energy goes wow, boom, you have out of nowhere a lot of energy. And I have experienced this, and I didn't know from what it is. I thought, oh, changing the weather, it's coming from very hot, from very cold, and the opposite way, but sometimes it shows that your cortisol levels are high. Another thing is that you're constantly craving sugar and caffeine, and you cannot calm down and just like stay still even if nothing is happening. You're constantly feeling puffy, inflamed and exhausted, and you're doing everything right, but you can just not lose the belly fat. That's why I always say it here on my YouTube channel and on Instagram, you need to live a stress-free life. You need to live a softer, unbothered life if you want to lose weight. You need to calm your nervous system down. You need to be smart, not just to eat less. So here are my favorite ways of lowering your cortisol levels and creating a healthy body. First thing is start your day slowly without any chaos, because naturally in the morning your cortisol levels spike for you to wake up, and if you, for example, check your phone, emails and all those things right away in the morning, you spike it even more. My morning crew is get up, go to the bathroom, brush teeth, skincare, brush hair, get ready in the bathroom, come back here, make the bed, drink water, and then you can get up your phone. I have told my boyfriend, because he's already working when I wake up, he's going to work 6:30 in the morning. I tell him, listen, when I wake up, I'm not gonna text you right away because it's not healthy for me. I'm going to do my things, and then after 30-40 minutes, then I'm going to text you. Number 2 is, and I'm going to repeat myself a little bit, eat enough and don't cut food groups, especially carbs and healthy fats. And this one is huge, because if you're under eating and cutting food groups, your body is going to perceive it as stress, and this thing raises cortisol and actually makes you gain weight and hold on to fat. And that's one thing that I want you to remember, that cortisol drops down when your body feels safe and nourished. So don't starve yourself. This isn't about restriction, it's about regulation. And I just want to pause for a little bit and talk how so many girls undereat, and this is so not right. Again, I'm going to repeat, look at me, I look great and I'm not undereating. And therefore, I have my period, I have balanced hormones. You don't know how many girls come to me and say, thank you. After 6 months, after several months of missing my period, I got it. Only because of your tips. So when you're not eating enough, especially carbs and fat, your body goes into stress mode, and what happens is cortisol goes up, muscle breaks down, because your body needs to get energy from somewhere and it uses the muscle for energy. Thyroid slows down and your metabolism drops down because your body is trying to conserve energy. And that's how I destroyed my thyroid hormones, because of undereating and overfast. Then you get tired, anxious, and energy comes only at night and your fat loss stops. So basically undereating equals survival mode equals cortisol goes up equals fat loss slows down. Problem is that over the years in social media and etc., we have been told to cut calories, to obsess with calories, to cut food groups like carbs and fats. Something very funny, there was one girl that came to me and said, I lost my period and I got disconnected from food. And I asked her, okay, what happened? She said, I had a fitness coach. And I said, okay, send me what she prepared for you. There was no carbs almost, and there was no healthy fats almost. What are you doing? Getting the money from people and destroying their hormones. Because when you're under eating, over time, you're not just eating lean protein to shred. No, you're putting your body into survival mode. And so many fitness influencers work on this method. You need to remember that your body is designed this way because when it thinks it's under stress, doesn't matter if you're chased by a bear or it's stressed because you're under eating, it raises cortisol. And your cortisol tells to your body, slow down metabolism, hold on to fat, hold on to energy, and break down muscle so you can have fuel, so you can work properly. And that's the opposite that you want, because even if you're eating less, you're not into fat burning mode. No, you're into surviving mode. And here's what most women don't realize. You need carbs for your body to feel safe, because carbs help lower cortisol and fuel your energy. They literally tell your body you're safe, you don't need to stress, you can relax. But yes, we want to eat carbs wisely so they don't cause blood sugar spikes and crashes. Cortisol is not the enemy, but if you're living onto it the whole day, every day, under eating, being stressed, and etc., your body is going to hold onto weight no matter how clean your diet is. So the real answer isn't to eat less, it's to eat smart in a way that nourishes your body, balances your blood sugar, and keeps your stress hormones into check. That's how you're actually getting results and feel clear, calm, and feminine in the process. So now I'm going to unpause and continue with my tips to how actually to reduce your cortisol levels. Number 3, train smarter, not harder. High intensity workouts are raising your cortisol levels. If you're already stressed and you're doing HIIT workouts or fasted cardio, you're just layering stress on stress. Just try workouts like Pilates, bodyweight workouts, walking, yoga. You don't have to kill yourself to see results, and to be honest, some of my best results came when I slowed down and actually stopped my gym membership, stopped pushing and killing myself in the gym, and started working out as a woman. Pilates, walking on a daily basis, a lot of stretching. That's it. You don't really need to kill yourself to see those amazing feminine results. You just need to slow down and create consistency, slow consistency, not punishment. Because to be honest, I hated to go to the gym. I was punishing myself, and this is from where most of the problems came. Inflammation, puffy body, high cortisol levels. This was not for me. Number 4 is get sunlight, touch the nature, and yes, I love hugging trees because they recharge you. First thing is that sunlight in the morning helps you regulate your natural body clock. I love to do it because it actually lowers your cortisol levels and boosts your serotonin levels. Go outside for 10 minutes, breathe deeply without sunglasses, touch the grass, touch the trees, because nature literally grounds your nervous system. It's not crazy. It's biology. Number 5 is that magnesium is the worst enemy of the cortisol. Most women are so deficient in magnesium, especially if they're constantly stressed. And you need to realize that it's one of the most important minerals to calming your nervous system. I take magnesium every night. I've already said it because it helps you relax, you're not so anxious, and it helps you sleep better. Tip number 6 is that I want you to sleep like your life depends on it, because it actually does. Cortisol is supposed to drop at night. But if you're laying on the bed, constantly scrolling on the phone, blue light in front of you, it's going to do exactly the opposite. You need to create a night routine like I have. So I leave the phone, put it on airplane mode, leave it away. I put nail oil on my feet, on my hands. I put hand cream on my feet, on my hands again. I put lip oil. I put a lavender essential oil here on my chest so I'm not so anxious. I'm not so stressed. It helped me sleep, to relax. And this is my glow up cortisol friendly night routine, and you should have one too. And you need to know that your body heals while you sleep, especially your hormones. And don't forget, my last tip is that emotional stress counts too, not only physical, because if you're constantly overthinking, anxious, people pleasing, holding on to bad emotions, this applies to all those situations. If they drain you, they are going to raise cortisol too. Create boundaries, choose calmness over chaos, and learn to say no. Learn to say no, really, to create boundaries, because calmness and stress-free life is something not that you find, it's something you create, something you choose. My grandma, if you have watched all my videos, my grandma comes always in my videos. Never mind, she always says that if you don't say what you think, if you don't express what you think, it always stays here and you're going to get sick. You're going to create problems with your thyroid because the thyroid is here and you're going to get sick. That's why my boyfriend has a little bit of problem with me, because if I think something, sometimes if it's not my thing, you know, it's not my place, I always say it. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I always says it, and the thing is that as a Slavic person, my face never lies. If I don't like something and I'm like, I don't see my face, I don't feel my face. It's just that my emotions are stronger than my will to keep my face straight like this. So always say what you think, what you care. Get it out. If you keep it here, it's not gonna do you good. Get it out. And by the way, I have a video on my YouTube channel about how to stop overthinking and stressing and etc. So go watch it because it's really gonna help you a lot. Really helped a lot of people. It helped me. All of those things that I talk about. I was the most anxious person before. I was overthinking what people think about me, this and that, everything. I was so low, but I had my healing journey. I had my experience, so I hope you can learn from my experience too. So no, it's not only about calories or how much you work out. If your cortisol levels are constantly dysregulated, no matter how clean you eat, your body is going to fight you. And the thing is, the goal is not zero stress. The life, all of our lives, day to day, we have stress. But the goal is to create balance and to know how to come back, to know how to stress a little and to come back to balance, you know? When your cortisol is in check, everything gets easier. Fat loss, metabolism, digestion, moods, bloating, everything comes into place like this. It's not lazy to rest and to not overdo yourself. It's powerful. It's strategic and it's feminine. It's the woman way. And by the way, several months ago, because I really had problems with my cortisol levels, I created those solfeggio frequencies that I have on my YouTube channel. They are so good, and if you read the comments, everything backs it up. People love it. I love it. Every time, every morning and before going to sleep, I really put it, or when I'm a little bit stressed, and it's working so good that it's making me fall asleep even midday. So go and check it on my YouTube channel. I really know that it's gonna help you because it helped me, and so many people below the comments can show you that it helped them so much too. So just give it a try. You can listen to it on your day-to-day life when you're cooking, getting ready. This is what I do, or when you're meditating, taking a bath, and etc. Whatever feels the best for you. Last thing I want to say before we finish is not to underestimate your cycle, because when you're in your luteal phase, you're becoming a little bit more insulin sensitive, which means that your cortisol levels are more responsive and you have a little bit more cravings. So what you need to do is you need to rest. Don't try to push it through with hard workouts and etc. If you feel tired, rest. How many times I should tell you, we as women, we work on a 28-day cycle. How many times I tell you not only to listen to your stomach, but to your body. If you feel tired, it's going to backfire 10 times more if you push yourself through. The same, let's say, with university. If you feel tired and you cannot study right now, trust me, you're not going to remember anything. Better go, relax, and come back. And remember that this is about health, not punishment. I don't always want you to chase skinny. Chase balance, energy, fertility, clear skin, strong metabolism, and then the body of your dreams follows. Then it comes. Use food as medicine, be kind to your body, and that's how you win in the long term. Okay, I think we covered everything, but if you have any questions, ask me in the comments, ask me on private, on Instagram, and yes. And I hope that I was very helpful to you, and I love you. Bye!